Like everything, the cost of insurance is going up, so you might be tempted to shop around for a better rate. And you should. While you're at it, you should look at what it is you're actually covered for, and even more importantly, what you're not covered for. Just like you can't compare apples with oranges, insurance policies can be tricky to understand and to weigh up against one another. If you have a landlord insurance policy, chances are you took the policy out with the same building insurer that you already had. And that's entirely okay if you're completely covered. But here's a few things to find out when you're looking for insurance. Number 1, does the company specialise in landlord insurance? Like every industry, there are businesses that cover everything, and then there are specialists. It makes sense to do your research and to shortlist insurers with a core focus on providing landlord insurance. Number 2, what is the policy excess when making a claim? If you're needing to make a claim on your policy, chances are you're already out of pocket with rent arrears, or your home has suffered damages that you need to pay for. Having to pay an excess on top of the loss can really hurt if your tenant has decided to stop paying the rent. There are some insurers that don't charge an excess for claims on loss of rent, meaning that even if rent arrears are minimal, it's still worth making a claim. Number 3, are you covered for accidental damage as well as malicious damage? You might think that all damage is covered, and with some insurers it can be. But things like bumps and dents in walls are typically considered negligence or accidental, but not malicious, so you'll definitely want a policy that covers you for both. Number 4, do you get to keep the bond for cleaning? Typically, if you have a tenant who has skipped out on paying their rent, they're not going to leave your house sparkling clean. That's where your bond is going to come in really handy, but only if your insurer allows you to use it. Many companies will apportion the bond to rent first, so if your tenant is 4 weeks behind with their rent payments, your policy is not going to be helpful at all if a thorough bond clean is required. Number 5, what are the policy limits on claims? This is a really important question to ask. Knowing that you're covered for tenant damage doesn't tell you how much for, and thinking that you're going to get a brand new garage door when your tenant leaves the handbrake off can turn into heartache if you find out that there's a $1,000 limit on the policy. Number 6, does the policy cover pet damage? With the changes to pet laws in October of 2022, even if you do approve a tenant who doesn't have a pet, if they choose to adopt one during the tenancy, it's now a lot harder to refuse their request, meaning that pet damage cover is vitally important. So, how does your insurance policy stack up? Is it time for a change maybe? If you enjoyed this video and know someone else who would, don't forget what our mothers told us, it's good to share.